So I said, "You can kiss my asphalt." Oh, sorry, we're live. We're live. Sorry about that. That music gets me in the mood every time. I'm loving it. Welcome to episode 2 of Classic Touring Car Racing Club TV. I'm sure he wants me to get rid of this one, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to bring in the big dog again. It is. He's back in. Hello,
Yes.
mate. I'm still going to say it.
You tried your hardest. I wouldn't mind, but Colin started calling me now as well. So I'm like, oh, this is not good. So
Cheers, mate.
cheers.
Oh, it's not a cup of apple tea this time.
No, it's not a cup of apple tea. No, it's a wonderful Weston's extra strong. Just a
Oh
little
my
bit,
word!
a little Tuesday night drinky poos. But yeah,
I bring that out of people, don't I? I do. I bring that out.
you make us all drink.
I do. I do. It's mental. Whereas I'm on the gin after I was down the gym before the show.
Yeah,
Just
I noticed that. Yeah,
you can tell because I'm
you and me
cut
both, mate.
like a racing snake, me, aren't I? Like a racing snake. Great to see that we've got people coming in already. Good man, AJ Owen. Evening, gents. All right, you
There we
put it
go,
in.
look.
Put it in one message, not two. AJ, come on. And we've got Nick Prawnvaughan. Woohoo! Bring on the big dog. He's here. Oh, that way. There he is. Look, right there. It's the big
I've got to
dog.
change. We've got to change this. Surely I can't be big.
Hey, Mark Flinney.
Thanks,
Evening,
Mark.
big dog. Hey, you might worry about being called big dog, but AJ could just called himself Fat Fingers.
AJ's he's on board to great because he's got white gloves, and I always think he's going to do a magic trick halfway through the race.
We should call him Boy Band or something with those gloves then, shouldn't we?
They're
Hey?
wonderful. They are wonderful.
Good man. Oh, great to see Nick Mizzen's watching as well, one of the Coombe
Yeah.
faithful. Hi, Chris and Stuart. But yeah, great to see everybody coming in. Episode 2, mate. I mean, it went well despite you having COVID. I thought last time.
It did, didn't it? Yeah, I was quite pleased with that. As you know, I was absolutely whacking it before we did it, and,
You-
I was as well. But yeah, no, it was good. It was really good, and I just wanted to just continue as we go and try and kind of keep people informed of what's going to happen at the weekend, and to try and do it in order this time, not after the event.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Because you, in fairness, there it was.
We'd missed it, yeah.
Yeah, you were already getting rather unwell, and it all makes sense now why you were struggling quite so much in hindsight. Because when you said let's delay it, you didn't know that it was actually COVID that you had. So fair's fair.
No,
I'll let you off it this time.
oh, thank you.
There's no more. There's no more get outs now, mate. That's your lot. That's it.
Well, I've got
That's
to think
it.
of a name for you now, so
That doesn't bode well.
yeah.
People just tend to call me G&T. That's all I get called invariably. I think I swim in gin, but so we're going to cover this weekend, Brands
Yeah.
Hatch. We got make sure that everybody knows what's happening. I've had a sneaky peek at the entry list, and they're looking good. They are looking good.
Crazy.
I'm gutted I'm not with you this weekend. Genuinely, it looks well. I'll get over it because I'm watching the British Touring Cars, but I am gutted that I'm not with you.
I'm sure you'll be all right. I'm sure you'll deal with it.
I'll do all right. A lovely weekend actually because I'm taking my dad up there to watch, and I haven't done a dad and lad watching racing since before I started commentating. So it's like
well.
long overdue, in all honesty. So
Oh,
I'm
well.
looking forward to that. Hopefully, it'll come up actually when you guys are at Castle Coombe.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be a great event. You know, we've got quite a few grids stacked there, and once I understand what the timetable is, I'll let you know.
Yeah, I gave you some names anyway.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
check.
I'll do that after the event.
And in fairness, this far ahead, it'll change about 3 times before then anyway. But
Yeah, I know. Well, it's just like with this event. To be honest with you, you know, we only managed to get hold of the 5th grid this week. I knew it was on the cards, which is why we've had to delay the timetables, etc. Because I kind of knew it was a possibility, and as soon as they've released it to us, we've had it and we've filled it up. So it's it's amazing.
yeah, because there's a few more split out, isn't there? compared to
Yeah,
Silverstone.
yeah. So I've always I don't really like the mixed grid so much, because you come racing to shape the checkered flag.
Yeah,
Certainly when you're with like 86, 83, 66, them guys don't get a look in, yet they're having a fantastic race behind you. And so Colin and I, actually all the committee have been trying to working towards trying to split the grids out. We have to get to a healthy kind of 20, to split everything out. And then everyone can have their own race, and it's a better experience for everybody.
of course
And
it
then
is.
with that, more cars come because they say how great it is, and it grows. It just took a few cautious years of trying to build it up sort of quietly in the background.
And the difficulty for you guys, in all honesty, is a crazy couple of years. And you, I've said it many times, is that we weren't able to sort of judge everything based on the last few years that we've had. That has
No.
just it's superficial impacts on things, isn't it? And so you have to sort of like don't throw baby out with the water and things like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. That first meeting we did after COVID, it was something like 150, 160 cars there, because everyone had
Wow.
been locked up all winter, and they all wanted to go and play. They couldn't go on holiday. The money they did have, they wanted to go and spend going round and round in circles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True.
And with the way, obviously, with the economic stuff at the moment, you just didn't know how it was going to go.
No, no, exactly right. I mean, straight up is that Nick Prawn Vaughan. He says, really excited to have a own grid in the Thunders, 31 entries. Absolutely. I mean, that is epic, isn't it?
There's two more. I was actually just contacted while sitting on the train on the way home from work.
Oh, wow.
So it will be, I think, will be. I would imagine that'll be sold out by lunchtime tomorrow, and that'll be the first time I've ever seen Thunder. So it's not with Boss; it's on its own as Thunder Saloons that I've ever seen it sold out.
Wow. That is epic. That is really, really epic.
Crazy.
So yeah, so that takes that up to 33. When does it shut?
Well, tomorrow night. I quoted, because I was bored when I wrote the email. I quoted sundown. So we're gonna at sundown tomorrow
Sundown,
night.
Hoss.
I was going to write high noon, and then I thought, oh no, I better not. But I wrote high noon, and sundown. Sorry, so that's when it all shuts tomorrow night, and then that's it. We're done.
Well, that's all right because the sun's not down yet. It's still
No,
a
it's
bit of
not,
light
is it?
out
I
here.
must admit, I said that, and I thought, hang on, it's still 10 past
Yeah.
8 here.
You've
well.
shot yourself in the foot, Hoss.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in fairness as well, is that James Rams put nearly a perfect 20 of Jags this weekend. What a spectacle.
It will be as well. I think that'd be lovely to see the Jags back sort of where they belong. James has done a great job banging the drum, and the millions of WhatsApp messages we have between ourselves trying to find cars and get people booked in. It would have been a 20. I think one of the cars dropped out. It's a shame, but it's still going to be a great thing to see them out on their own grid and trundling round and round.
No, absolutely. And then pre 66, I see on the list that's 29 entries.
Yeah, you got really sort of catches you off guard. The 66 guys, they kind of how can I explain it? They all work together very well. So if one comes, you get five. They're sort of
Oh, okay.
they hunt in packs. So yeah, but they do. They also kind of cheer each other on, and they've got to 29 cars now. I remember years ago looking, there was 6-car grid, and I think because of over the years of all the Goodwoods and all these bits and bobs, the people that are out there and they maybe don't want to pay the crazy money to go and race their Cortina, they're not going to have a different experience if they go somewhere else. It's Brands Hatch, so they'll. I think that's where it's sort of come from. I think the last 3 or 4 years, it's really sort of jumped.
No, it just looks fantastic. Pre 83s, that's 20 as well.
Yeah, I'm pleased with that one. Again, a couple of cars dropped out, which was a shame. But I race in that. I love pre 83. That's the reason why I got into motorsport, because of my good friend Mark Fowler. Yeah, it's going to be great. And I haven't driven a Capri since Thruxton last year, and I'm definitely raring to go. That's for sure.
I bet you are, because weren't you due to at Silverstone before you got ill?
Yeah, poor old Colin had worked his bottom off to get the car ready for me and make it perfect, and spent a lot of time going up and down the motorway to Rick Woods and all the other bits and bobs, and it didn't happen. So we're going to go and test on Friday, which is unheard of by me, but I thought I'd better give it a go. So we're going to test on Friday and try and get me back in the groove, so to speak. So I'm really, really looking forward to it.
I bet you are. I bet you are. We all love a Capri. Just to round out the others, because they're, fine. We've picked up on, understandably, the biggest ones, but still, the pre-93s have got 11, the pre-03s have got 12, and the Boss have got 12.
Yeah. So they're all on together. Slightly different experience for the Boss guys, but they're keen to get away from being with Thunder, and so we've tried something different for them. And long may that continue. I mean, it caught me off guard. To be honest, the whole thing's caught me off guard, because this week has been absolutely crazy. I think people were concentrating on Easter. Everyone was away with their families, doing bits and bobs, and suddenly you get an email from us saying we're racing next week.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, ah. So yeah.
It caught a lot of people off guard, the shorter weeks, didn't it? Because I know I was commentating at Silverstone the weekend just gone, and I was like, they're going on Friday, going, guys, I haven't even got an entry list. What's going on? And it's like going, I know, we're trying desperately to get it sorted, it just caught so many people out.
And there's still bits and bobs I've got to take care of. There's some notes from the clerk of the course, etc. We've got to look at.
Oh, really?
No, Colin's been looking at, but just stuff about briefings and the rest of it. But also as well, because we knew that grid was possibly coming, everything's held back. Normally the finals are all out and the timetable was all out last week, but that timetable has changed so much. It's gone from, I think at one point they were racing Sunday and we were qualifying Saturday. It just changes so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's. I'm really pleased with how it is. We've got it out exactly how we want it. Qualify Saturday morning, race Saturday afternoon, race Sunday morning, go home.
Yeah, I was just checking that to make because I was gonna say that, and then I was like, I better make sure I've read that correctly. I mean, it's utopia. In fairness, plenty of you watching. Craig Owens here as well. Evening, Craig. Evening, chaps. Stuart, evening, Mr. Dawes and Caie.
Evening, Stu.
And Ross Craig, good man. Evening, all.
Evening, Ross. And
Craig's even said, I love racing with the Thunder guys, because he's in the Boss, isn't he?
Well, he could do a second race if he wants to. Only £99.
And he says, a race is a race, whoever you're in with, and that's true. And there, we're doing a soap opera here. Hi, Dad.
Yeah, isn't it?
We're just... Dad meet son, son meet dad. There you go. You're welcome, guys. And it's great to see the likes that are coming in as well. Ian Waterhouse, Ross Craig, Andy Abrams, and Adam Moore, Kevin Swan, Patrick DeBolla. Wonderful to see you guys doing that. And a wow from Anton Martin. I hope that's a good wow, Anton. Keep the comments, the questions coming in, because it's great to have this as an interactive show. So, good grids, especially the likes of the Thunder, the Jags working so hard. You wanted to talk about cameras in the car, not just for AJ's white gloves.
No, not just for AJ, sadly. I'll put it on two of the emails that have gone out this week, but it is part of the regulations. I understand at Silverstone there was a lot of cars that didn't have them in. And I want to emphasise how important it is to have those cameras, not just for yourself, but also for fellow competitors. If you're caught up in an incident, maybe the car 2 rows back will have a better view of the incident than the 2 cameras together if you're touching or whatever. And so it helps if everybody's got the cameras so we can get the whole picture. Not saying that there should be an issue, but if there ever is an issue, that's why we want them. Our ethos has been for the last few years very much about close, clean racing. We don't believe in rubbings racing, and we will continue that. I don't like seeing old cars being smashed up. In fact, I don't like seeing any cars being smashed up because someone's worked very hard so they can go racing. And I don't like seeing it when they're caught up in other people's problems. So if we've got cameras, keeps everybody safe, helps us weed out if there's any people that are problems. And I ask that everyone please sort of works collaboratively with us and adheres to that rule.
Yeah, it does make sense. I know at even in the Coombe local championships, they've insisted it. They've put it into the regs this year that it is mandatory. It needs to be there. And you're right. It could be anything. I mean, when I was covering the Masters Historic racing at Donington Park on Easter weekend on Good Friday and the Saturday,
Very posh.
well, you know, but the I forget. I think it was on the touring cars race, the classic touring cars that they do there.
Yeah.
There was someone out in I forget what. I think he was in Lotus Cortina. That it would appear the same driver hit at least two, if not more, heavily, just hit them during the race because they came into retirement absolutely fuming with the level of damage that was done. One of them had absolutely destroyed the side of a Mustang, for crying out loud.
Well,
It's not easy to do.
no.
And this was unheard of. They were like going, this is unheard of because we're used to it being, very good, clean racing.
Gentlemanly, yeah.
Absolutely. And just occasionally someone will dip in and haven't got the memo, and
Yeah, exactly.
they need to be able to see that just so that they can manage it for everybody else. So it might not be for you. It could be something that happens,
Yeah.
like you say, a lot further away, but you happen to have a better view. Incidentally, by the way, I'm just going to add that AJ said they're black now.
Oh, sorry, AJ.
He's not in the boy band anymore. I'm disgusted with that. Extra likes coming in from David Claxton and Vic Hope. Evening, guys. And I'm not sure who this, but Nash Race says evening all.
Evening.
I'm going to add, by the way, because this was some legacy. I am able to see when you comment before we go live. Malcolm Jeffs put 4 VW Golf Mark 1s listed in pre-83.
And I look forward to passing all of them.
Yeah, yeah. He did say one still without an engine, but we're a resourceful bunch.
They are indeed.
They are, exactly. Oh, Chris Savage, evening, Sav. Good to see you're watching as well, mate. He's put a like up. So, yes, so that is mandatory then for everybody to put the cameras in. And presumably that's not just the cameras, but it's also working and it's got a memory card in.
All the bits, all the above. I mean, I have to say that my cameras are currently on my stairs waiting to be taken upstairs and charged.
Good idea.
But yeah, they've got to be in. They've got to be working. We don't ask an awful lot of people, but we do ask that.
I was Sunday. I went from very posh with the Masters Historic to Sunday, rounded out the weekend with the 5 hours enduro KA race that I was commentating on, which actually I have to say was so much fun, and it's something that I'm so tempted to get out behind the wheel in. But it was. They had situations where they were changing every time they came in. I don't know whether it was every pit stop or every driver change or something, and they were changing the memory cards.
Oh, really?
And there were situations where they had to take those memory cards, the team manager had to take them up to race control because something happened during the stint that it was out there. They had to wait until they got that, until they could call judgment on something, and so they took that, they were just hot swapping the memory cards and taking it up, and they had it. And then I think one got in trouble because they didn't present it.
Yeah, and we've warned people, and so at Silverstone, at Brands Hatch, we ask that everybody has the cameras in and working, without exception.
No, that makes sense. Saying that, I'd always want a camera in. I mean, especially when you're taking the cars on your grids round Paddock Hill and plunging down the hill and back up again. Wow. I'd want to be watching that from on board.
Well, I used to share my videos on social media, and then Colin pointed out that I'm pretty rubbish. So why would you show everybody? Why would you show everybody how rubbish you are? But yeah,
It's a bit brutal.
oh, it's cruel to be kind. But yeah, I love watching on the onboards of people, and yeah, nice. It's great. But yeah, look, we've gone there too much. But yeah, it's as long as they're in the cars and working, I
Fine.
think everything will be fine.
Okie dokie. James Brick, Dave Luck, good evening, guys, to you guys as well. Let's flip it to a positive. It sounds
Yeah,
like you guys are having a hog roast.
I do love a hog roast on a Saturday night. You know, the paddock is a lonely place, and we all like to get together. So yeah, going back to what we were saying, it was one of them things that kind of got cut out with COVID. In fact, I was talking to Adam about this, who's I used to sound off a lot of things these days, like the class trophies, etc. A lot of things kind of got put to one side, and we were just ticking over, trying to get racing back on its feet, get people out. We all had our masks on, and all the other business, and it's kind of stayed in that, and we need to take it back to where it was, which is why we thought we'd get the hog roast back out. It gets people together, have a few beers, talk about some cars, have a bit of a laugh, and bring back what we're kind of famous for, which is being a big friendly club. And when you're just out racing and you're going out, you do your race and you go home, it's just sterile, and it's not.
Yeah.
We're half the social bit and half the race.
Yeah, hence the racing club is a key element to it, and I agree. And there's been a lot of apathy, habit that has stayed how it was forced on us to become, and I agree with that. I've seen that a lot. The good news is that we are starting to see a lot more things. So well done to you guys for really trying to bring that one back, and I think it will make a difference, especially having been at your awards do. To just see that spirit. I mean, there's the good news. I bet you were relieved to see that, despite what you're saying there about some things just sort of like filtered away and haven't come back. The spirit's still there.
It is, and that's what keeps this club going, and it's why people keep coming back year in, year out. They go to other clubs. I've been to other clubs, and it's just not the same. It's not to say that it's any clubs or anything wrong with them. It's just that where your mates are.
I'm with you, and in all honesty, I've seen even some that were good change, and not necessarily for better, and it ebbs and flows. So it does need the effort to manage it, to sort of like keep it on that keel and keep that club thing. So it does make sense, and that could be that it becomes too serious, it becomes too cliquey. Any number of things that can cause that problem. So well done on that one. Kevin Swan says hot dogs with the big dog. It's gonna stick, mate.
You're trying your hardest, aren't you?
Hey, I'm not even saying it now. Everyone else is, mate. It's fine.
I rang Colin today and asked him if the car was ready, etc., and he just said, "What's that, big dog?"
You're welcome, mate. I'm banned now, aren't I? By you. That's it. Now I'm banned. I'm out.
You're right.
Oh, the lovely Lynn. Hi, Lynn. She says, good evening to you both. Looking forward to seeing the Jaguars this weekend. I bet you are.
And I hope you got your tickets, Lynn. So I think there are tickets today. So, yeah, we've got some tickets through. So I'll get all them out to people.
Oh, brilliant. It was lovely to see her at the awards as well.
Yeah. No, I think everybody does a great job. She helps out massively with the Jaguars.
Absolutely, yes. And by the way, just remember the big challenge is that the Jaguars were the loudest at the awards.
They were. I'm
not one to stir her out.
They were mob-handed. It's very true. I mean, it's good to have such a good turnout, I have to say.
Don't let them get away with it next or this year, guys. Come on. I'm not one to stir her out. But they were the loudest, definitely. Elliot Harris, evening, mate. He says, evening, Dawesy. lives, I think, in my neck of the woods. Nick Prawnvaughan, as someone who only started racing in 2020 during COVID times, I've been amazed already at the friendly club atmosphere in CTCRC. Definitely where we want to stay.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
That's what you
We
want to hear.
appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Brian Aldous.
Yes, what's happened there then? I don't have no idea what's happened there. I saw
Let
it was
us
on
know
Linktree
more.
at one point.
Yeah, let us know more. But Byron, sorry, I said Brian, didn't I? Byron.
Yes, Byron.
Yeah, sorry, Byron. Gutted that I can't race this weekend, but I'll be along as a spectator. What happened, mate? What happened?
Let me know if you need a ticket, Byron. Just send us a mail.
Yeah, wicked.
One positive thing, actually, that's actually behind me, not there, not the cross trainer that we don't use, or my Blues Brothers poster that I have upside down.
Cross trainers are brilliant for hanging clothes out to dry, though, aren't they?
There's a box of T-shirts there. There's 2 boxes of T-shirts there, so that we'll be taking along to the race event to hand out. So if people come over to the club gazebo, Holly, who's watching this, was going to kill me, but Holly will be helping handing out the T-shirts on the weekend.
So is this where she's just found out?
She's just found out. She's going to text me in a moment and tell me I'm in trouble. But yeah, no, we're meant to give them all out at Silverstone. Obviously, I didn't go, so they were all sitting in the van, and no one's got their T-shirt. So
Oh dear.
on Saturday, or certainly Sunday, when everyone's got dirty T-shirts, and they'll think, "Oh, I need a clean T-shirt. I'll put my club one on."
It's just brilliantly planned, mate. Brilliantly, couldn't have done it any better. Couldn't have done it any better.
Walking adverts.
Sophie Owen says Sonia does everything to entertain the kids, which is fab.
She does as well. She does a great job with looking after the kids. And in fact, she's even offered to look after my daughter whilst I race on Saturday, because Holly's taking my son to a birthday party. So she does a great job.
She's not handing out T-shirts at that point, then.
No.
Lynn says we definitely know how to party. You're right. You Jag guys definitely knew how to party. Everyone knew how to party, to be fair, but you guys were very loud about it.
I think you did more than anybody, Chris. To be honest with you,
I don't drink.
You don't drink, and I'm sure your wife appreciated that phone call at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I did get in trouble for that one. I must be honest.
Oh, I bet you was in deep trouble. You were very sheepish.
I was. To be honest, she was like, I expect nothing less. She just knew it anyway. I've actually just put in an order for a top up of gin. So what you'll see is you'll see the oh, okay.
Cheeky.
Well, actually, that I got to go to that is that Andy Wilson says, "What's that you're drinking, Stu?" See, he doesn't.
What he said, it's shandy or something, but no, it's
yeah. He doesn't call you big dog yet, but that's not surprising coming from him, is it? Crikey, he's the real big dog. I wonder when he's going to come
racing. I know, he used to race cars and that. I saw that. But,
yeah,
doesn't seem to come anymore.
Oh, that's a shame. He's more interested in what you're drinking.
But there's a few bits for brands. I'm not sure if people have actually looked at the finals yet, but we've pretty much got the entire paddock to ourselves.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think there's a tyre man and the hospitality for Brick Car, and that's it. All the Brick Car stuff is in the middle. We've got the whole place to ourselves. So you don't need to park like that with your mate.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because there's plenty of space once it's like that, isn't it? I used to, before COVID forced me to get rid of the motorhome, is that I'd always be down in the sort of like the rally stage. I'd be sort of like tucked right at the far end down in the rally stage, out of the way of everyone. Which actually meant I got some sleep in between working, to be fair. But
there's always someone with a trolley jack in there at 6 a.m.
Exactly right, exactly. And then it meant that the wife didn't get a phone call at 4 o'clock in the morning. Then you see, so it was always safe. Tom Davis says, "Evening, looking forward to marshalling this one. Nice to see a big entry list. I bet, and thank you in advance for all your work, Tom."
I'm just hoping the weather holds off.
I think it's supposed to be okay, isn't it?
No, it doesn't look that. I'm literally going to look now. And Saturday sort of late afternoon.
Okay.
Might be a bit wet, but we'll be all right.
Fair enough. Sod's
But
law is I'm missing you guys by one weekend because I'm at Brands next weekend for GT Cup and whatever you. So
no,
just
okay.
miss you, just miss you. I
I,
go
I,
wherever I'm booked, sadly, so it doesn't always mean I get what I want. But well, I do like being there next weekend, but I'd have liked to have been commentating on you guys this weekend.
yeah, no, it's great when you do. But you got Combe.
Yes, mate,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so there
I'll
you
be
are.
the lead comms for that one, so that would be great. We'll have a ball with that one, and that's like only half hour down the road for me, so it's
Oh,
wicked.
great.
Just quickly catching up. Good evening, Chris from Stuart Tinker Taylor. Andy Abrams himself. Have a great weekend. Sorry I can't be there, but roll on, Coombe. Get well soon, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. You get well soon, mate.
Yeah, definitely. That seen your post. I hope you get well. Tim Walker says, looking forward to a couple of days marshalling with you. Isn't that lovely that these guys, these volunteers that are out there in all weathers, and it's a race meet they're looking forward to with you guys.
No, it's fantastic. We genuinely just couldn't go racing without them, and the fact these people are so committed to marshalling these, I think from all of us and from the club, thank you very much.
No, agreed, absolutely. Jazz Sapra, see you guys. Will be there. There's no surprise there, Jazz. As I say, you would race snails if that's the only thing you can find. You'd race snails. You don't care. You'll be racing anything.
He does race a lot,
He
but no,
does.
thanks for coming along.
I'm still trying to work out if there's definitely only one of them. One of
Yeah,
Jazz. I think there might be more than one.
he does do a lot of racing, that's for sure.
Absolutely. An old school friend of mine says, "Hi up, Chris. Love, love, love." And he says, "Hi up, Stu," as well. Andy Wilson says, "Going to behave this time." Not sure. So you guys, as you said, I've lost the paperwork now. I've got
It's all right. It's
paperwork
fine. You've had too
everywhere.
much gin, haven't you?
Not yet. I've got a feeling that the missus has gone out, so I'm not even being topped up anymore. Crikey. We call her Arthur now. Arthur Job. Oh, it's because it's right in front of me. It's right here.
It's all right.
So, qualifying starts 9 o'clock Saturday morning. The Jaguars, the pre-83s. Then you take a bit of a respite while the British Endurance Championship are out. Then it's back into qualifying the Classic and Historic Thunder Saloons, the pre-66s, then the combined grid of pre-93, pre-03 and the Boss.
Yeah.
And then there's a race before lunch with the Jags getting their first one underway.
That's right, yeah. So they're out. They're out quite early on Saturday for qualifying, and they're out a bit early. But then they're done and dusted, and they can enjoy being part of the paddock.
Absolutely. I was just sort of looking, actually. The good news is, and I'm touching wood as I say this, is that it's all due to finish at a reasonable time as well on the Saturday to get your hog roast going.
Well, yeah, I was talking to Mark Turner about this actually. There's a lot of what we call fat on the timetable to allow for any issues. So yeah, we should be done by about 5:15. It'll probably be 5:30. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
And that's it. The hog roast about 6 o'clock. Sonny was telling me last night because I'd forgotten to actually ask her the details of it. That the guys are going to be there a bit earlier, cooking it all and making it all wonderful, and then we'll have it about 6ish.
You got them tickets to get in, yeah. The hog roast guys. You don't want them locked out of the circuit, do you?
No, you don't. No,
The current Mrs. Dawes is here now, as
the
I call
current.
her. Wow, she loves it when I wind her up. Look, see, get the hand in. See, there we go. Thanks, love.
It's like a fishbowl. I feel like I'm in Magaluf.
Well, it's lovely. Nick Prawn Vaughan says, "I'm really glad for 2 lions this weekend after 2 9 a.m. starts at Silverstone." I guess you've got to try and mix that up as the season goes on as well.
Yeah, we tend to try and do it so everybody starts first once and everyone goes last once.
Yeah.
So it's a bit luck of the draw, but we do try and revolve stuff around it. Brands has not quite followed to that because the grids came so late, and it was very fluid, to be honest with you, to make this work as it has. But generally, service will be, look, you could say that 93, 03 will be first at Coombe, and so on, and they'll just revolve like that.
Yeah, you got. I love the fact you're trying to be fair, at least, mate. That's the main thing. Drew Bullpit says, "Good evening, all. Hi from Suffolk."
Hi, Drew.
John Creech, always at a race circuit,
The
watching and
legend.
taking yeah, exactly, taking photographs. Looking forward to spectating at Brands, likely the Saturday, taking photos and video with the tripod, hopefully at different spots on the circuit.
Good. I look forward to seeing him.
Absolutely, good man. And then Minik Shelf says, "Hi, I'm a bit late. Can you catch me up?" Well, the entry lists are brilliant. The hog roast is going to be even better, and you got to put cameras to capture what everyone gets up to at the hog roast. Was that it? Was that the summary?
That's about right. That's a summary, yeah.
Yeah. Cameras in the car. Cameras in the
Put
car.
the
That was
cameras
right.
in the car, please.
I just suddenly thought I shouldn't joke about that. I need to be make sure I get that absolutely accurate. Anthony Clark's also put a thumbs up as well. Great to see it. I'm not going to put Nash races up because he's talking about wieners now, so rather than hot dogs, but I'm not putting that up. You guys always wind each other up. Just suddenly looking at crikey, so even the 10 o'clock start Sunday morning, because obviously Barons has to start a little bit later, doesn't it? But that's a paid practice for Brick Car Trophy. So
I do need to mention that actually. So Claire did call me yesterday, who runs Brick Car, and she's offering up, if anyone wants any paid practice on Saturday morning, he's available to us. It's a few £100 though, to be honest with you, but it's an hour of practice. It's an hour of practice if anybody wants it. I'll send out an email as well about that tomorrow. That's where we are.
That was pure luck that I bought that one up, so that worked well.
It go well, didn't it? Yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're linked, mate. We're on the same wavelength.
But look, we're all done. Saturday afternoon, the last race of the day finishes at 3 o'clock, and that's it. We're all done. And then you've got the Brick Car 2-hour trophy race, and that's it. So hopefully the weather holds out for us, and it'll be a decent meeting.
How do you? Because it's on the Indy, isn't it, that you guys are doing this one? Is that the best one to be on?
I enjoy it. I think with the Grand Prix, you kind of you don't get enough track time around there, so you don't really know where you're going or what you do. You know, you just got to keep turning right and hope that the car ends up on the black stuff. Whereas the Indy, you've done the Indy hundreds of times, and you kind of know what's going to happen. I find the 34 car limit to be close to acceptable, to be honest with you, at times. I think that's very busy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It keeps you, there's not a time to, like a Silverstone, where you can take a minute when you go out onto the straight, have a look at your dials and, regain your composure. You're just on it, and also looking in your mirrors as well. And it's, it's full on, but that's why it's best circuit in the country.
Yeah. It certainly is a cracker, and from the spectators, it's one where you get to see, everything, which is just absolutely wicked. Good question, and don't forget, guys, please do. If you've got questions you're not sure about, get the questions in, and that does. We'll start with Craig Owen. Says, "Are you doing drivers' briefings at Brands?"
Yes, we are, Craig. We've got. I'll tell you, they're going to send out. The clerk actually is going to send out additional. So I think he was talking about doing briefings after qualifying and before the races, because it's too early and there's too many people to try and cram into Garage One or wherever he's doing it. So I understand last time there was some complications to trying to get everybody into the room. So that's where we are with it. I'll send something out tomorrow once I know more. But yeah, we're going to go after qualifying, I think.
Fine. Okay, that makes sense. And then AJ stitched his dad up by saying, "Read the finals, Dad."
One thing I do want to add is that, because normally on a Friday afternoon, I get lots of phone calls when I'm sitting at my desk in my office, which says, "I'm at the gate, I can't get in." says in the finals that you can't get until 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Please.
Which we got to remember, this is one of the objectives of this show, is
And
to
that's
try
why
and reiterate.
And I've got the finals up on my other screen actually, because that is one of the things. Lots of people have lots of different ways of sneaking in, and good luck to all of you. But I have no control over MSVR and no control over the Bark don't officially get the keys to the circuit, if you like, until 6 p.m. Saturday. And I've known them to hold people up by the Kentagon and queue them all the way out and not allow them down into the paddock in previous years. So please be aware of that.
Yeah, and that will always come down to whatever's going on the day, Friday.
Yeah,
isn't it?
there's testing going on all day on Friday. Those that are testing is very different. They stay where they are. But people, if they are trying to get there a little bit earlier and want to, I mean, don't get me wrong, and I understand why people want to get there and get a decent spot and get cosy. There's plenty of room for everybody. We've got the whole paddock. Everyone will get what they want. Don't stress yourselves out by turning up at 3 o'clock and then sitting in a queue for 3 hours.
No, agreed. You got plenty of space there, so definitely. Nick Prawn Vaughan says, any chance of 2 green flag laps for Thunder on slicks if it's cold?
No.
Simple as that.
I think we were talking about maybe doing 2 green flag laps if it's raining, but they will be in updated finals. They'll be out tomorrow now, to be honest with you. We're just a little bit back, a little bit behind with stuff. But yeah, it'll always be one green flag lap, especially at Brands on the Indy.
Yeah, okay, cool. Sophie Owen says AJ's doing another test with Monte. That's Monty. That's presumably the Mondeo.
Yes,
Cool.
It is. I'll let him fill you in. But that's an awesome piece of kit. And I look forward to racing against him.
Yeah. There's a little smirk there. I like that one. I think Tom's responding probably to Nick's comment about the if it's cold. Tom saying getting excuses in now. It's not even race weekend. Absolutely, why not? Paul Downs says great club and drivers used to love doing the hospitality for the club a few years ago.
Chris, Paul's do a fantastic job for us. It's he's very much missed. But his barbecues and all the rest of it were legendary back in the day.
Oh, really? I like the sound of that. Nick Prawn Vaughan has also said finals for this event says outer paddock access on Friday is from 12.
The finals I've got in front of me, outer paddock maybe, but I'm just reading actually the paddock. It says paddock is controlled exclusively by MSVR up to 6 p.m. on Friday.
So pure luck then, basically.
And Nick, as Colin has texted me live, he didn't want to take part in this show because he's a bit shy, bless him. But he just texted me and said, it's 2 green flags, you bellend. So it is 2 green flags.
Fair enough. So that sorts that one out then, doesn't it?
Exactly. So there you are. It is 2 green flags. I apologise.
That's sorted then, isn't it? Just quickly picking up on the likes, keep them coming in. We got Des Phillips, H. Harvey, Spooner in Orange, Tom Hawkins. Great to see the likes coming in, guys. Keep the views coming in. They've gone up nicely as well. So please do come in. Sam Strong, who lives like literally, you could throw a stone at his house, I think. I don't do that, Sam. I don't do that. It wasn't me. But he says, just say you're Sam Strong, you get in no problems. Are you sure, Sam? I think it's the other way these days, isn't it, mate? You know, you get banned. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, good one. Sonia Gibbons has said, save the date, 25th of November, annual awards dinner dance. Don't miss it. Fantastic night. Little ones welcome too.
Absolutely.
Is that as in short people or kids?
Both.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And you as well, apparently.
Well, and am I bringing the current Mrs. Dawes this time so she doesn't get a phone call at 4? I think I am, aren't I?
I think it's for the best, actually, so that you don't sit up till 4.
Hey, that was the only reason why I stayed up, wasn't it? I wasn't interested in drinking with everyone else.
I know.
Where do we go? I'm going to pick up on this one just because it's someone. This Minnick said, "My son asked, what's this about? And I don't really know how to explain. Care to take a try? It's fine if you're not able to." Very simply, Classic Touring Car Racing Club is one of the best racing clubs in the country that races, as the title suggests, classic touring cars. Some amazing things from classics up to some still classics but a lot more modern, and we are previewing the events with the big dog, the chairman, and we'll have more guests as the year goes on, so bear that in mind, everybody that's watching. We're going to get extra ones of you on to talk about things as the year goes on as well. And yeah, they're all racing at Brands Hatch this weekend, so that sums that one up. So make sure you tune in next time, because it's just a fun catch up on everything. Craig Owen says, we get there early so we can hopefully get scrutineered on Friday. It's less pressure for Saturday for not only for the scrutineers as well.
Craig's fantastic at sneaking in the door. He's an old hat at it, and I'll leave him to his own devices.
yeah. I probably should have kept that one off the screen, but never
mind.
No.
It's fine. Yeah, you know, the official word is 6 o'clock on Friday night, so I have to go at the official word. As I said, you know, it's every man for himself. They all know what they need to do.
Mum's the word, all right? Nick says, sorry, Stu, didn't want to cause aggro. Final say MSVR control paddock until 6, but outer paddock access from 12, hence the confusion.
Yeah, it is interesting when they put that like that, but this thing should be situated. The outer paddock, I wonder if the outer paddock is up by the Kentagon, that they consider the top bit, the outer paddock, up by the shops and the
Oh yeah, because the other one's lower paddock, I think, isn't it? So I didn't really think there was an outer paddock.
I don't think there was until these finals.
No, we've created new space. That's just the main thing. Yeah. Sam Strong says, I deleted that message. Sorry, mate. Once it's in my sphere, that's it. I start using it to abuse it. Hey, you know, it's fine, mate. We know. We love you. We love you, Sam. I'm not sure which bit this is, but he says it's nice to hear. Says Stephen Monster Dog Dowell. Is he trying to?
He races Jags. He races Jags. He's just.
But he's Monster Dog. Is that bigger than Big Dog, or I don't know? No. Is he like your second in command there? Isn't he? He's got to be.
I don't think I've ever actually met the chap, but he races a Jag.
Well, he's Monster Dog. You're Big Dog, so that's all right then. Age Harvey says, did I hear something about a hog roast?
Oh. Age. It's all right. Colin, who's Mr. Shire, he's been texting me saying there is some scrutiny on Friday, but you've got to try and get in before 6 o'clock, basically. So that's where we are with that one. I'll confirm all that tomorrow via email.
Clear as mud now. That's fine. There's no problem.
Yes, Age, there is a hog roast for you.
Absolutely. Saturday night, 6 o'clock-ish is the plan, I think you said, wasn't it?
6 o'clock-ish at the gazebo.
At the gazebo. The big dog will be there.
Point people in the right direction, yeah.
Although Kevin Swan says, Age, Harvey, not for you.
Well, it's for racing people, and Age doesn't seem to race that much. So maybe he's sort of a hanger-on.
Okay. Although I did see some photos that he's doing some serious work to try and get back out again, isn't he?
Yeah, the guys that they've been working very hard to try and get both cars out. Actually, I think only Tom's racing this weekend, but the plan was for them both to race, which is a shame. But there's always other events. We're back at Brands in July anyway, so hopefully both will be out there because they're both good guys and we have some good racing with them.
Anything to stop being a hanger-on, that's the main thing, eh?
He's a legend. Age is a legend.
Oh, no, absolutely. Nick says, page 1, 4th paragraph from the bottom. I don't know. Sophie just laughing at her dad, Craig. And then Craig's saying, could the inner paddock be the pit garage area? Don't confuse things. But we said outer paddock, didn't we? So what are you talking about, the inner paddock? Don't confuse us, Craig. You know it's easy now. Big Dog's been drinking his 8.5% beer.
Access to the paddock is controlled exclusively by MSVR.
Fair enough. Okay.
So we'll leave it at that.
AJ says, can't wait for Brands in July. And, of course, that's the Super Tourers thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's an interesting one because I was talking to Paul Eaton was chatting to me the other day. Um, for me, that whole event is a real celebration of touring car racing from pre-66 all the way up to Super Tours and everything in between Group 5, Group 2, Group 1. I want all of those cars there. I was chatting to a chap tonight actually who's got a lovely Group 2 car, and we will find a grid for those to take part on. I
Brilliant.
want it to be a huge celebration. The headline, of course, is the Super Tours. That's what seems to pull people in. It's MSVR set up this event based on that, and you know, it's when you think back at some of the sort of struggles we've had over the years, and to get the club to be part of such a headline event at Brands Hatch on the Grand Prix and on the Indy over an entire weekend is you sort of have to pinch yourself a little bit.
And genuinely, I'm hugely gutted because I was asked to commentate on that one, but I think I'm actually away on a rare weekend with the family rather than working that
How
weekend. And
dare
so
you have a
I
family day?
know, I know, how dare I indeed. And especially when that was what I knew I was being asked to do, I was like, no, I want to do that because not only do they book me anyway for a lot of things, but in particular when there's like a festival atmosphere for these things, like I do the Speed Fest and all the different festival races, and that I think they're really looking to play that one big, aren't they? Which is going to be special.
Yeah, they are. It's quite incredible, and also some of the phone calls I'm getting um, about cars that are coming, people that are coming. The guys from New Zealand, the cars are already on the ships
Wow.
on their way here. One guy's got a Chrysler's from upstate New York that's being shipped. It's crazy, and all the other stuff as well. The Group A cars that are being part of the demonstration and also the race. Um, just some just some lovely old cars that you don't see, and people have got stuff in collections, and they call you up. A chap called me up a couple of weeks ago, and he's bought the Aluminium Laguna, and he said, "Oh, is this event just for Super Tours?" I said, "Oh no, it's it's celebration, etc., etc." He said, "Oh, only I've got the Karcher DTM 190E. Can I bring that as well, please?" And it's like, and he said, "I've also got the RS 500 DTM, the Texaco car," and I was like, "What?" And I just said, "Like, how many trailers have you got?" You know, and that's where it is. That's how nuts it's got.
Yeah. And you just wouldn't want to turn those kind of cars down, would you? It's like,
No,
come on in, let's do
but we'll
this.
find a spot for everybody. Lots of people
Absolutely.
have been contacting us, asking, can you do this? Can you do that? I just want it to be just the biggest, craziest
Yeah, yeah,
touring car
yeah.
event you've ever been to.
And it is looking good. I mean, Tom Davies is making a point saying follow Super Touring Power, which I
Mm,
think is the event itself on Instagram. They post
mm,
announcements of all the cars that are going there,
mm.
as I would expect them to do.
I
And
send them to them, so
I
and
thought
as
I'd,
does Peter Steele. Yeah, yeah.
I was about to say I would imagine that you were sending them, and it's good that getting that publicity. James Brick said this event is going to be amazing, and you're not wrong. It really is.
And
AJ
James has got
says,
an amazing car.
really.
Yeah, he's got an amazing Mark III Escort that hopefully will be there as well, and hopefully be with us at Retro Ride. So he's got a Group A car.
Fair dues. Minik Schauffer said, how do you double the worth of your restoration project? Is that an answerable question?
I don't think it is.
No.
I don't think they ever do.
No, no, true. Good question, though. WRH Motorsport say, can't wait for brands. And absolutely. And Minik says, you have to fill the petrol tank, was the answer to the question. That's how you double the value of it. AJ, when I said I wasn't going to be there for that, for the Super Tours one, said, weekend away at Brands, take a detour. He said, I'll bring the gin. You're tempting me, mate. You're tempting me. I must be honest. Although I don't like to get myself in trouble with the wife. Oh wait, yes I do, don't I? In fact, Simon Barlow says, Chris, were you drunk at the awards? I stayed up with you at 4 a.m. You looked okay. That's adrenaline, mate. When you host awards, you have adrenaline. It's when you go back to the room and the adrenaline goes that all hell breaks loose and you phone your wife at 4 a.m. That's the
Yeah.
mistake. That's the mistake. Sam Strong clears this one up now, and he's right, absolutely right. Outer Paddock is the hill above Scrutineering, because he's right, because there's another gate there, isn't there, to Lower Paddock, and they do use that Upper Paddock at times. So Outer Paddock, he thinks, is that top bit by Scrutineering and above. Lower Paddock is the flat part past it. Inner Paddock is obviously in the centre. Sorted. It's cleared up.
There you are.
Knew we'd get there. We're no good, but we needed
No,
our viewers to clear it up for us.
that's the one.
Tim Dodwell says, thanks for the timetable. And I'm assuming he
Tim,
means as in the work that you've done for it, rather than you didn't just send it through to him.
no, Tim and I have been speaking for a couple of weeks actually. But Tim is a motorsport legend.
Brilliant. Oh, nice sentiments then, Tim. Thank you for that. I don't know whether there's any answer on this, but John Creech says, be interested to see what special guest drivers there'll be in July and would love to see an open grid walk if it could be possible, looking to be a good event.
That's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to do the Super Tour race after lunch, so the cars will be sitting on the grid at lunchtime. People can walk round and make it all feel like it did in 1994.
Cool. I like the sound of that. Obviously, we'll talk more about that nearer to
Of
the
course,
time,
yeah.
but it's good to trail it a little bit now, especially when there is a relevance because we're talking about Brands Hatch, so there's a link there.
Yeah,
Bevan Nimp says, evening, Stuart Caie.
man's a legend.
Well, I think we've covered pretty much everything. It's looking like a fabulous timetable, with some good tweaks that you've worked hard to be able to secure there. Some amazing entries. The entry list looks fab, and don't forget it's not closed yet. So if you're on the fence, know that it is worth getting involved. We've got the pre-66 with 29 entries, the pre-83s with 20, pre-93 with 11, and pre-03 with 12. Classic Thunders on their own grid this time with, I was about to say 31, you've told us it's now 33. Yeah. Boss with 12 and Jaguars with 19. So if there's anybody out there that's sitting on the fence, get yourself in there. It'll be worth it. It's going to be an absolutely epic event by the sounds of that. And it's streamed live again, is it not?
Absolutely, yes. I sent all the links out today on the Bark YouTube channel, on the club's Facebook. Be on all weekend.
Brilliant, love it. Alan William Strachan says, "Oh shoot, missed this." You have, mate, because we're just wrapping up. But thank you, Nick says, this was really good. Great effort, guys. Thank you. Can't wait to see you all this weekend.
Thanks, Nick.
Appreciate it. And it's just looking so good. I'm very envious. I shall try and catch up with it. Keep up the great work, everybody. Have a wonderful time. And when is your next round? I forgot to double check when.
We're at Combe
Is that
in
actually? Yeah, I did bring up.
the 10th and 11th of June.
But we are going to do a May show, I'd imagine, aren't we? Previewing Goodwood.
Yeah, so we're out with the just the last little piece. We're at the Retro Rise. They've invited us along for.
People were getting excited about that on our first show, weren't they?
Yeah, and you know what? This last year the guys invited us along to sort of test the ground really, and I have to thank the people there because they've given us a lot of track time this time. I think entry for that now is closed.
Really?
Because we've got the 30 or so cars that we need to demonstrate everything from 66 to Super Tourers and Thunder Saloons and 83s and everybody else in between. Showcase the club and really show a different audience of what we've got. These people that are there are more car enthusiasts. There's people there with low riders, people there with Ratlook beetles, and all sorts of cool stuff. Just trying to entice people into racing.
Well, I would imagine there's a good chance that we'll do a show previewing and that. So that's 20th and 21st of May. I would hazard a guess that as well as previewing that, because we don't have to do too many T's and C's on that one, is that I reckon we may well look to get a guest or two on and have a bit of fun leading into that Goodwood Retro Rides weekend. Hence, I knew that you'd come in with this. Age says it was a blast last year. You were the one that brought it up in last show, Age, so I know you're looking forward to it. So we'll have a check about that, and then, yeah, as you say, June we got Coombe. So it'll always be trying to sort of do it the week before an event is the aim.
Yeah.
Just to answer your question, Minix Shelf says, which YouTube channel will it be streamed on? That is the Bark.
Bark is. Look up the Bark.
Yeah, BARC. BARC, and have a look at Classic Touring Cars Facebook pages, all of that sort of stuff. It'll be sort of like linked on that as well. Sam Strong says, I need to go and buy an E30 325i. You've always got those, Sam. What are you on about? Ross Craig says, see you all this weekend.
Thank you.
Kevin Swan says, thanks, boys. Bring on brands. James Ibbotson says that he's been outside putting the imp back together, so missed most of this. See you all this weekend. In fairness, I think we'll let him off that one, won't we, if he's getting himself ready?
It's fine, yeah, no problem. No problem at all.
That is the more important thing. Let's not kid ourselves.
Get the car ready, yeah.
Definitely. Well done, spot on. Bring on brands. Thanks, Kevin. Oh, bless you. Thank you, John Creech. We'll miss you on Circuit Comms this weekend, Chris. Hope everyone has a great weekend and safe racing to all. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you, my friend.
Good job.
Nick, my wife wants Andy Wilson as the first guest on this show. Is that safe? I'm not sure.
Go big or go home.
Well, there is that in it. Yeah. I'll have the big dog and the Rottweiler. And Alan Williams Strachan says, missed out on Goodwood. He's missed out on that because it's closed. He's gutted about that. You can't hang around, that's the thing. But what you have got time for is entering this weekend. Anybody who hasn't done it, do it. Stuart, it's been a blast. Thank you, my friend.
Cheers,
have
Chris.
a wonderful weekend. Racing, hog roast, the whole kit caboodle. And we'll see you next time, mate.
Take care. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, guys. So from all of us here on CTCRC, I took a run up at that then. CTCRC TV. Crikey. There's a lot. That's a lot of letters. That's what that is. It's great to see you guys, and we'll see you for episode 3 coming up soon. And Sonia Gibbons says, look forward to seeing you all at Brands. I think that sums it up perfectly. So let's wrap this one up, and we'll see you all next time. Stay safe, guys.
Thank you.